Greetings from the Black Hills of South Dakota, United States of America. Stan Gibilisco here. I have been getting some very good and interesting comments in some of my recent videos having to do with controversial issues such as the war on drugs, medical marijuana, Edward Snowden, and other such hot topics. A couple of the comments have had to do with something called the NWO, and I actually had to look this up because I hadn't heard that, hadn't seen that abbreviation before, and it stands for New World Order. You can go to Wikipedia and read about that. I think it's basically a kind of a conspiracy theory having to do with plans amongst people in high places to make a, well, a kind of a world where things are pretty tightly controlled. You'd have to read Wikipedia. Basically, most of our freedoms as individuals would be gone under such a system. Well, I don't know if there's any widespread conspiracy to do such a thing. I do know that if you look hard enough, you can find a loon who wants to turn the world into just about any sort of a place that you can imagine. So I don't really know for sure very much about that. I'm more concerned about whether I'm going to be able to get a good night's sleep tonight, in light of the fact that I had some of the best sourdough bread I've had in a long, long time with a lot of butter on it, and I'm kind of full. Oh, but it was good. Good stuff. Anyway, here's the deal. I just wonder what you think about this, the New World Order. It sounds kind of sinister, and it sure is if you read it in Wikipedia. You know, I had a college friend way back in the 1970s who came up with a theory that he called social entropy. Social entropy. And basically it was a theory that societies tend to degenerate into a sort of a uniform state of chaos, much the same way that heat tends to equalize itself in the universe. And perhaps the forces occur for somewhat the same reasons. That was another theory. You know, in recent years, one might begin to think that wasn't such a bad idea after all. Social entropy. Seems sometimes like, but you know, people have been saying this sort of stuff for hundreds of years and thousands of years, and somehow we're still alive and kicking. And I have another theory of my own that I'd maybe like to share with you sometime. It's kind of the opposite of social entropy. I'm not sure exactly what to call it yet, but I believe that maybe things tend to actually increase in order rather than to deteriorate in the presence of the human life force. That life, one of the characteristics of life, is to make order out of chaos. I think that's a more optimistic view, but it can also lead to some pretty sinister stuff, as I may share with you in a future video. Have at me. Well, you know, I didn't express my opinion about the New World Order other than to say I don't really think there's a widespread conspiracy, but I will say this. I will quote Thomas Jefferson once again. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Stan Gibilisco signing off from the fresh air and wild mountain country of the Black Hills, where chaos is about to prevail if you listen to the weather forecast. So long for now.